Ignite the spark within oneself to light the path of holistic health.
Hello and welcome to the Holy Health Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch. Thanks for joining us today. As always, I'm joined here with the esteemed, dear of all things, task stacking queen, my wife, who joins me every week and joins me in the adventure of living a holy health lifestyle. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was sick for a few days this week.
Oh, yeah.
I had like a summer flu, which was really fun.
Mm.
And now I'm feeling better. I went for a run this morning though, which, okay, it could be the smoke. We are in the line of fire, literally, from the wildfire smoke in Canada right now. So it's extremely smoky outside.
Very smoky.
So
Enough to where you could smell it.
It's like gets in your, I like was feeling it when we took Lily out, like to go to the bathroom. I was like, ugh. But so it started last night and then like it wasn't like ground level yet. It was just kind of like in the sky above us.
Yeah.
So this morning I was like, should I run? Should I not? I didn't run earlier this week because I was sick. So I'm trying to like get it in, you know? And so I was like, I'm going. So I went. And I wouldn't have ran, if it looked like this out right now, how it looks right now, I wouldn't have went for a run. But since it looked a little better, I went for a run. And I was like slow. And I was thinking it was from being sick and still recovering. But now I'm wondering if it was the smoke. Or both. Probably both.
Probably both.
But yeah, I was sick earlier this week.
So do you think that sickness was the virus parasite thing that's going around that's in the news, or do you think it was from your remedies?
I don't think it was from the parasite. Initially I thought it might be because I had a salad out to eat, but it was organic greens, but it doesn't matter. But I was like, what is it? The salad that I had. I don't think my symptoms were like quite aligned enough to be that though. It was interesting though, because I actually had like scheduled plans Monday and Tuesday. And I was like down sick both Monday and Tuesday. So I had to cancel almost all of my plans. And I don't have a lot of scheduled things in my life anymore. And then when I have 2 back-to-back days, I get sick and then I can't go to them. But yeah, I don't think it was the parasite. I wonder if it was, I started new homeopathic remedies, and this has happened before, where I took remedies and then I got sick, like this, like fever and everything like that. So I'm not sure if it's that or not. I'm curious to talk to my homeopath next month and see what she thinks. But yeah, I was sick this week. So it was like, I was like so sick that like I couldn't do anything. Like, you know, when you're that sick where it's like, I don't even want to watch TV because I'm just like so miserable. Like I wasn't reading books. I wasn't watching TV. Like I tried to watch something and I was like, I just can't care about this right now. So I like literally laid
just
on the couch
and slept
all day long. Yeah. On Tuesday.
Could be good. I mean, that's probably what your body needed in that moment.
Definitely. So that was kind of my week, and that's why the podcast is still out on Thursday, but it's out later than usual because I was sick on the days that we were going to record, and then we had other stuff happening, and so here we are. But better late than never. That's how I'm doing. Mentally, I don't know, it's fine. I'm trying the tactic of avoidance.
Nice.
Just like it's not even existing, even though it's there. I'm like, we're not there. I'm not paying attention.
Sometimes paying less attention to certain things is a good idea.
For sure. And something that I started doing pretty consistently, except for the past couple of days because I was sick, is leaving the house almost every single day. Well, pretty much every single day. And I go to Starbucks and I work on things. And I bet that's been helping me too.
I think so.
So, shout out Starbucks. I asked today, I was like, so are you guys going to get the apple crisp back this year? Because last year it was like a drama. Like I always say, like I don't drink the sugary drinks, but the apple crisp Starbucks drinks are worth it to me.
Very good.
So good. So he wasn't sure, but he's hopeful because he also liked it a lot.
Put a good word in.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty tired right now. Had a rough day at work, but I had a good weekend. We played rugby, so that was
Not
fun.
you.
Yeah, I played rugby.
Yeah,
you were there.
But I was not playing.
It's always fun getting to play rugby. It's always more fun when you win. When you lose, it just doesn't feel as good. We won a couple games. We lost 3 by the end of the day. We had 3 injuries. Some guy blew his knee out. We had some guy.
Did you ever get an update on him?
Yeah, he ruptured his LCL. So that's what they think. Hasn't got an MRI yet, but yeah, that's what they think.
So what's his
right
plan?
now. Probably has to get surgery because it's completely ruptured. So you need a new one.
Yeah.
Or else it'll just be pretty floppy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably manage with a brace with an LCL, but rather not. He's pretty young still.
No insurance though. It's rough.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we got a guy, he got staples in his head, like there on site. Like he like walked over to the trainer's tent and like came back over and somebody was like, yeah, Travis just got staples in his head. I was like, what? No, he didn't. And they're like, yeah. It's like, show me. And he, sure enough, he got staples.
Which is crazy
right
because like, I don't know.
I don't know either. Just like,
seems so, not ghetto, but like, it just seems so.
Yeah, it was the most nonchalant staples ever in somebody's head.
Yeah, it's just like a tent with a massage table underneath. Like, did they clean it? Like, what?
He's like, came over, yep, we're good.
Like, is it, I don't know.
Stapled up.
Sterile? It seems weird.
Yeah, I was like, so are you playing this next game? He was like, dude, I got staples in my head. I was like, I don't care. You're good. Get back out there.
He didn't.
No, he didn't play. So we were down 2 guys, and then some other guy had this pooping episode as well during the whole
parasite.
Yeah, during the whole game that day, well, the whole day. So he was a little under the weather.
He did good though for circumstances.
Yeah,
especially.
he still did good. And then we had another guy who ended up breaking his hand. So.
And another guy beforehand, which allegedly he always throws up, but he was throwing up like excessively.
Oh, that was just nerves.
I know, but it was like a lot of throwing up. Like I was watching. It was
he
like
probably ate a lot.
Multiple times. And to the point where people were like, "Are you good?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he was like gagging. He like ran back to the woods to throw up again. Like many times.
Yeah.
And then it was fine, but I was like,
he hasn't played in a while. But yeah, that didn't go great. So those unexpected injuries really put a damper on the vibe of the rugby day and our performances. So if the injuries weren't there, would we have done better? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, that was fun. Needed that. What else? That's about it, I think, for me. Doing well. Just trucking along. Officially am offering personal training locally. And yeah.
Cool. People can find out more about that on your Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that is that. But something that I have been doing lately that I used to do a lot of is just kind of like researching different subjects, taking notes. And 2 of the things that I already talked about, one, which was caffeine in a previous episode, but the other one was nicotine that I recently kind of dove into. And kind of wanted to mention those, talk about those here in the beginning, because we want to talk about brain health and some other things involved with the brain and maybe some trauma, addiction, and personal experiences with all of them. But We'll get into it. So obviously, caffeine and nicotine, they're very similar, and the brain loves to use both of them. And just to like briefly talk about the caffeine thing, I did like a whole deep dive into it. And I didn't know caffeine was 100. There's a certain type of caffeine that's 100% synthetic, totally made in the lab from no organic materials, like random acids and bases, and like it's a chemistry experiment. Like this has a reaction which makes this, and eventually it comes out to be the same chemical structure of naturally sourced caffeine. And I didn't know that. I thought there was always a little snippet of caffeine, natural, in this synthetic version. I thought it was just a little bit synthetic, but I was wrong. 100% made in the lab. And they use some pretty harsh chemicals like formaldehyde, chloroform, lots of acids and random stuff. So they do testing on it, make sure it's supposed to be safe and what the numbers are. And they're not zero. There's always a range. Most of it comes from China. About 80% that we use in America comes from China. I think that's the world, actually. Yeah, that's the world. 80% of the world's synthetic caffeine usage comes from China. And yeah, it has a different effect on the brain and how quickly it's absorbed. It's like a faster pace absorption, so it's hits you hard. What?
I'm just thinking about how you already talked about this, but go ahead.
Yeah,
We need
I know.
a recap.
Yeah, it was
Go.
just I want to make sure that this is like a standalone episode here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Because caffeine in the brain, everybody loves caffeine. Everybody's addicted to caffeine, and it's good to know what you're taking into your brain and your body. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up that. So it's a quicker hit, burns faster and brighter, and in my opinion, makes it less effective because then you're kind of getting a crash quicker and harsher, which means you're probably going to drink more caffeine. So keeps you more addicted in that cycle. And because of that, I was like, I wonder if nicotine's the same way. Because everybody is on nicotine. Like, we have all these pouches now. Vapes were huge. Like, even when I was in high school, did you have friends in high school that did the vape thing? Like
No,
the smoke,
vapes did not exist when I was in high school. We smoked cigarettes and marijuana like real teenagers.
They definitely existed.
Well, nobody did them. Nobody had them. It was just like the OG materials.
Okay.
No vapes.
Well, when it first came out, it was
When did it first come out? When were vapes like popular?
I don't know. They were super trendy and popular in like the smoke tricks world. And like that was around the same time as hookah. Remember hookah?
Okay, yeah. Hookah for sure was a thing. But vapes, I don't remember anybody using
like
vapes.
People had
and
like
I was
the
very
fancy ones that
hookahs?
No, vapes where they would inhale and like just blow like this massive cloud.
Yeah, I mean, I was very much in that world in high school, but I don't remember anybody having a vape.
Interesting.
I know in like probably 2012 or to 14 maybe, like that's when I started to like realize they were a thing, I guess.
Yeah, I would say that lines up.
But hookah was like 2009 probably.
Yeah, that was a big trend.
It was definitely a trend.
The hookah bars
weird.
popped up everywhere
Yeah.
and everything, and then it was like, this stuff's horrible for you. Everyone thought it was like better or something, but it wasn't.
I think it was also
like,
just like the experience. It was like fun. It was like different and fun.
Yeah.
Very community based.
Well, yeah, it was like a shareable thing.
Socially.
You sit around the hookah thing and everyone like smokes the same thing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
I mean, it's way better than a cell phone, let's be real. Would you rather sit around a table with a hookah and people, or would you rather sit at a table with everybody staring at their cell phones?
Definitely the hookah.
Give me the hookah all day long.
Yeah.
So.
I always had fun doing it. I mean, I didn't do it very often, but I remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about a hookah for a million years.
Yeah.
Anyways, vapes.
Yeah, vapes. Vapes hit the market hard and fast. And that's where, like, the synthetic nicotine started. And it is also 100% made in the lab. But it seems less harsh. At least it's really hard to find the information because...
Well, a lot of people say that they, like, use it to, like, stop smoking.
The vapes?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I'm talking about nicotine.
Okay. But
itself.
The nicotine in vapes are you talking about, or just in general?
Yeah, the nicotine in the vapes was where... Well, the vapes introduced, kind of, the non-tobacco nicotine. So it's like 100% made in the lab. And it's really hard to find the actual process of how they make this nicotine, non-tobacco nicotine, because there's like thousands and thousands of patents that everybody has their own process to make the thing, which I thought was pretty strange, which makes it really hard to know what product you're getting, what method was used, what type of testing was it under. So kind of makes it more sketchy in my mind.
Definitely.
But some products don't really tell you which one it is, because the synthetic one for nicotine is actually 3 to 4 times more expensive to make than naturally derived tobacco, which is interesting because caffeine is flip-flopped the other way around. The synthetic is 10 times cheaper than the natural version.
So why would they make the synthetic nicotine? Like,
I think it's just a product that they can use to grab a bigger demographic.
do you know, like, the cost difference between, like, vaping and smoking cigarettes?
I think it is less.
Vaping?
Yeah.
It's cheaper than
I think there
cigarettes.
might be an upfront investment into vaping.
Well, you have to buy the vape.
Yeah, you got to buy the vape, the mechanism, and then over time, I think you're saving money.
By buying
technically
the whatever you buy. To
cartridges
put in the vape.
and stuff. The juice.
Yeah. So that would be, it's cheaper for the consumer to vape than it is to smoke cigarettes.
I think.
Potentially.
But that's because of the taxation on tobacco. So, kind of a weird thing there.
Yeah, I was
the economy.
I mean, I'm just trying to think about why somebody would choose a vape over a cigarette. Because obviously everybody knows that smoking's, like, not good for you. So a lot of people initially, I think, thought vaping was, like, a healthier alternative because it's just vapor or whatever. But, like, you don't know what's in the vapor, and there's a whole conversation there.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, people are trying to use it to quit smoking. Is it potentially cheaper, which it might be, and people think it's healthier?
I would say all of the above.
Yeah.
And it's more convenient.
Oh, yeah, you could do it anywhere. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it in your pocket and you pull it out, take a little puff, put it away.
Yeah.
Where cigarettes, you have to go take a cigarette break and
Mm-hmm.
smoke a cigarette, take 5 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
But if you just pull your vape out, take a little puff, you're good. You get your hit, your satisfaction, and you move on.
Yeah.
Then
That's a big one.
Yeah, the convenience factor is huge, and I think that would be, from if I was a tobacco lobbyist or whatever, and I wanted to grab a demographic, that's why I think it happened. The the non-tobacco nicotine consumers, I feel like I didn't look this up, but I'm guessing that it's outperforming the tobacco users.
Probably. And
Well, I
then,
guess smoking tobacco.
well, and then you
Because
think about.
I don't think about the chewing tobacco.
Well, that's what I was
There's
just
probably
gonna
a
bring
lot
up.
of chewers out there.
I was wondering. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I do know people who chew, but like, I don't know anybody like personally doing it these days. But I wonder how many are compared to like the nicotine pouches, because a pouch seems so much more attractive
Way more attractive.
because it's not as disgusting.
Yeah, you don't have to spit it out. You don't have to. You just swallow it.
What are the price
Tastes
differences
good.
there?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know how much is like a. My buddy, he always sends me snaps of how many rolls that he gets of Alps at a time. I think it's a little pricey.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious, like, why somebody, like, I mean, I
It's
can
an
think of
added
reasons,
cost
but,
into
yeah.
your living. An added expense that you don't need.
And maybe people do both. I bet a lot of oral nicotine users partake in many different
Well,
options.
probably whatever they can get.
Yeah, and like depending on where they're at, like,
Yeah.
are they at work where they can just like spit on the ground, like outside working, or are they somewhere that they can't do that, like, but they still want it?
Yeah.
Interesting. But okay, anyway, so back to the health of
Nicotine. Yeah. So what I learned is that there's two types of nicotine. There's S and there's R. S is the natural form that comes from the plant. And when they make the nicotine in a lab, it's like a 50-50 ratio blend thing where it's the S and the R. So the brain actually binds and absorbs the S nicotine. I think it is 10 times, tenfold, I think is what the term was, greater than the R nicotine. So the brain has a liking to that one better than the artificial one.
which would make sense.
Which makes complete sense. So I think there's a big issue there. But if you look it up, it's going to tell you that the synthetic version is actually less addictive because you get more nicotine, like per whatever product you're using. So then, they say that you're getting that satisfaction, but from like an absorption perspective, like physiologically, I'm thinking along the lines where, say I throw a pouch in of this synthetic stuff, 12 milligrams, I absorb half, but I'm not getting that satisfaction of that absorption rate that comes from the tobacco product.
Because you only have 6 grams of it, or milligrams of it.
Yeah, because you only really absorb half. It's like 30 to 50% of whatever it is. Even like, and if you're like cigarettes, if you're burning it, then you lose a lot there. So in a cigarette, you're only really absorbing like 1 to 2 milligrams of nicotine, which is pretty crazy because I think there's like 10 to 12 milligrams in a cigarette, something like that. There's over 400. There could be potentially, depending on the cigar, anywhere from 30 to 400 milligrams of nicotine in a cigar.
Wow.
Depending on the product. But you're only absorbing half of that potentially. But still, say you blow through a whole fat cigar, 200 milligrams, that's insane.
You're rocking.
Yeah, you're toast. You're probably sick. But anyways, you're getting that, the brain isn't taking as much of a liking to this R nicotine. So then, physiologically, that's causing you to kind of run through it quicker. And then you're like, oh wait, I need more. So then you throw more in. Throw another pouch in. So it's kind of like, is it less addictive because you get more, but then really you're not getting more because it's not absorbing as much and your brain doesn't like it as much. So then you're like doing it more often actually. So it's kind of like a little bit of a conundrum there. But yeah, that was kind of like my overall assessment of it, which is similar to the caffeine thing. Like the synthetic version is less effective, and so is the nicotine. The synthetic nicotine is less effective.
Which, of course, because that's the case with everything. Anything synthetic, vitamins, like anything, is less effective than the real stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to believe that or admit that, but like, it's true.
It's the same chemical structure. It's literally the same. It does the same thing in the body, blah, blah, blah. That's what you'll read. Like if you do a quick search, that's what it'll be.
That it simplifies the body down to a level that the body is not existing on.
Yeah.
Like the body is way more complex than that. It's just like when you go to the doctor, you go to a specialist, a medical doctor specialist person, and they're like, okay, let's look at your ears, nose, and throat.
Yeah, we're gonna take those out. You don't need them. We're
But
gonna cut that off.
They don't take into effect the whole entire body, the whole entire physical body, mental, emotional, spiritual body. They don't take that into effect, and that's what happens here too.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same, but
neglecting
it's not. It's so much deeper.
The power of the human body.
And the original sources of things.
Yes.
That's not to say I never take like a synthetic supplement or anything like that. Like I occasionally do, but I'm not pounding them every day anymore. Like I don't see them in the same light.
I used to be on a multivitamin every day.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I used to think multivitamin, fish oil, greens, protein.
See, I didn't think in that.
I was
realm.
on all of it.
I was on a different sphere, but there's a time and place for that, but that's a whole other conversation. But at the end of the day, it is not the same. It is synthetic. It is different to the body. I started listening. This is kind of in a different realm, but in the similar one at the same time. Rich Roll recently had a podcast episode where he and I think Simon Hill, is that his name? They're dissecting what happened to the vegan movement. And I didn't get very far in, but they initially started off by talking about Beyond Meat and how Beyond Meat like held so much excitement and promise in the vegan world, and it kind of flopped. And like Oatly and all of these replacements, like their stocks are like in the tubes and they're not doing well anymore because there has been a cultural shift towards consuming animal products. And like this, they were talking about why this could be, and like eventually they got to the point of like health. And Rich brought up like that Beyond Meat's considered like an ultra processed food. But like that wasn't like their initial thought, and that was like my initial thought. I was like, well, these are processed foods. So you can make the macros the same. Like I can take a fake piece of chicken and make the macro very much the same as like a real piece of chicken. And maybe it tastes similar. Like some of those products did taste similarly. Maybe it, it's packaged up like a chicken. But at the end of the day, it's not a chicken. And there's 15 to 50 ingredients, and most of them are things that we don't even know what they are or how they exist. And the body doesn't just break that down based on like, this has 30 grams of protein and 4 grams of fat and 0 carbs. Like, it doesn't break it down based on macros. It
No.
breaks it down on the energy of the product, the ingredients, yes, the macros to an extent, and your relationship to consuming it. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that it isn't just like, this is the perfect replacement for chicken. It's like, well, you can't really replica chicken one-on-one. You can't do it with caffeine. You can't do it with nicotine. You can't do it with anything that exists in nature. Even though you can, like, make it seem like that, at the end of the day, you can't do it.
The human body is the original quantum computer. I say it all the time. The purposeful intellectual design of humans was the original. It's like the technology. How we work on a fundamental level is how everything else works too. We are the original idea when it comes to tech. How our body works, how our body works, like with semiconduction, for example, is exactly the same way that the phones work with semiconduction. They figured out that these products, these minerals, these compounds, they create a semiconductor. Well, what's the body do? The body does the same things. So maybe it was a coincidence, maybe they found one before the other, but the human body does that. And literally, the human body breaks down substances, foods, whatever it is, particles, into protons, neutrons, and electrons, which are all contain energy, they all contain information, certain masses, and certain balances of each. So when you think about it from that standpoint, things are a lot more complicated than what they seem. Like in the front, oh, it's just like, it's the same chemical structure. Really? Is it though?
I mean, it could look that way, but there's so much more that exists beyond the chemical structure.
Like the information there. Like we are electrical beings of light. We produce light through this force that's somewhat unknown that is electrical. So when you're taking in a synthetic substance like a caffeine that's made in the lab or a nicotine that's made in the lab, is that really creating more electricity, creating more light?
No, the field of energy is way different than brewing a cup of green tea.
Yeah. Like there's actually information, there's good light, there's good magnetism, there's good protons, neutrons, electrons in that natural source. That leaf that you drink, compared to a bunch of chemicals that are the same chemical structure, quote, but is it though? What's the information there? Does the body know? I mean, clearly the body knows that it's not the same because it's absorbing it differently. There's a different absorption rate for all the synthetic products. So clearly the body knows. There's some knowledge there, wisdom. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot more complicated than what the internet will say.
What
Yeah.
AI will tell you.
Yeah, the first Google search that you have.
Yeah.
First question. Stella.
Yeah, she's cute.
She looks cute. So, yeah, back to the nicotine and how that works. I think that the non-tobacco versions were a massive, massive capitalization on a group of people, a demographic that are not interested in using tobacco, but they do want the benefits of nicotine. And they don't want the taste and the flavor of tobacco. But I will consume a fruity, tasty, maybe a minty little pouch that I throw in and lasts 30 minutes, you know? Like, that's a huge demographic that the tobacco company, the industry can grab and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then you have all the influencers in the biohacking community who was like still sounding the trumpets of nicotine and saying how great it is, and it's like the best thing ever. It makes you a superhuman if you're on nicotine, and people don't get sick. And Tucker Carlson's talking about that, how he doesn't get sick ever because of nicotine, apparently.
Well, not getting sick ever is not a good thing from a homeopathic perspective.
Yeah, but
like you want to be getting sick, not all the time. I mean, there's a balance
purge
there,
that you
but
need to have.
if
There's
somebody's
a purging.
like, I haven't been sick for 15 years, that's a red flag.
Yeah, for sure. I would think the same thing.
Yeah.
Your body's always renewing itself, so you should be purging out some dead cells.
Yeah.
So if you're not,
what's going on?
Where's it at?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, nicotine was like this huge thing. I mean, it still is. It's very trendy.
I mean,
people talk about it.
I could see it. I don't know because I'm not involved really much with this group of people, but like teenagers. I could see teenagers getting their hands on a vape, getting their hands on the cartridges, and like it's a very easy way to like hide the fact that you're partaking in it compared to like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because cigarettes stink and you can't do them in your bedroom without being found out, and like it's a whole thing. But a vape, if I'm a teenager, I can do it in my bedroom and my parents will never know.
Well, the pouches, I think, are what really gets people. Everyone's doing the pouches.
See, I don't know that either. I'm so in my own world that I have no idea.
There's like, I don't know. There's probably 10 different brands that if you went to your local gas station and just looked at a non-tobacco pouch, you could pick from probably 10 different companies. And they're all the same. It's all the same shit. It's like you can get the 3 milligrams, there's 6, there's 8s, there's 12s.
Didn't you try one time?
A couple times.
Did it make you sick? I don't remember what
I didn't
happened.
like it.
Yeah.
Each time I tried it a couple different ways. It was like all the rage, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. You know, I've never really smoked tobacco or, you know, been in that nicotine world. I've tried chewing. I tried chewing, what? It was years ago. I was in probably freshman, junior.
High school?
Yeah. I was at a wrestling tournament. And
Did
all
you
the
throw
guys,
up?
I immediately had to go poop. I was like, I am sick. I was sick for a while. Didn't like it at all. I was like, I don't know how you guys do this. They were like, it happens to everybody, but you just keep going. You work through it. Like, why? It's crazy. There's no way it's that good. It's not worth it.
My cousin tried it at a high school football game one time, and then my mom was like driving everybody home, and he threw up in the car.
Oh.
And it was like, like I think it came out eventually, like what happened, but initially I don't know if he told or not, but that was like the reason because he tried it.
Ugh.
He was like, so weird. I don't know. That's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so you tried it once. You never pushed through.
I was never really into it. But yeah, I was at my last job. One of the guys, he was always throwing in Rogues. That's a different brand. And I remember I think I was on an empty stomach, and we were like working. We were doing dumb shit. And I was like, give me one of those. Let me try one. So I tried one, and it does give you like a focused energy, like a focused sensation. It's a stimulant. It's the same, very similar structure-wise as caffeine in the brain. So it does a lot of the same physiological things. But like my stomach and like the nausea part of it, I was like, oh man, like I had to like keep working and moving so that I didn't get sick. So I had to like stay focused on the tasks that I was doing. And then the second time I was like, well, maybe if I eat lunch and then I'll put one in after lunch. Because I have food to like mix it so that I'm not on an empty stomach.
Metabolize it, yeah.
Yeah. That was a little better, but still very much the same. And I was like, yep, these are a no for me. Can't do it. But yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah,
I mean, if you started nicotine pouches, I'd be like, ew.
it's just an
Turned
added
off.
expense that you don't need. Like,
Yeah.
the nicotine, the benefits versus the potential cons, I don't really see them like outweighing each other.
No.
Like, they're, depending on what you're doing, there could be a lot less cons, but do you really need it? Like, do you need the benefits of the product?
No.
Like, a lot of people think that they do. You know, it helps them, makes them happier, makes them feel good. I mean, biochemically, it does. I mean, you get lots of dopamine. There's probably serotonin involved. You get those big hits in the neurotransmitters, acetylcholine, and all these different things that are involved, and how the brain attaches and binds and all that stuff. So, you know, your brain kind of likes it to a degree.
Yeah, but you don't get down to the core of why you're feeling like you need to reach for it in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason. Like, it makes me happier, it makes me more focused, whatever. Like, okay, well, let's look at that. Let's not reach for an external substance, stimulant, to make that happen. Like, what is the obstacle from preventing you from being able to do this to begin with?
Could be a lot.
Yeah, and that's why people go to Sheets and they pick up the pouches for however much they are and do that instead.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that addiction cycle is tough.
Definitely.
To get out of. And it's really weird because you have to have a reason to, one, even think that you have a problem, or to have the realization that, oh, hey, maybe this is a problem or this is causing an issue. Usually it's a health thing. Usually it's like, oh, I have a health problem. Wonder why. Maybe I should stop doing this, see if it gets better. And maybe it does. And usually that's why people are motivated to change, because their health is going down the tubes or they're having an issue that they don't want to deal with. But it's really hard for, nicotine and caffeine, they're kind of harmless.
The dose makes the poison.
I mean, it's not like
sugar is kind of harmless too, unless you eat it every single meal, every single day of your life.
Yeah, from an addiction standpoint, though, your caffeine and nicotine addiction probably isn't going to get to the point where it's like ruining your life, like pornography or hard drugs.
Yeah, there are different levels.
Drinking and driving, alcohol in general. Like, that's a different side of things.
Definitely.
Like the caffeine and the nicotine, that's kind of like, I want to try to optimize myself. I don't want to be dependent on these products, and I want to feel good without external substances. And, how does somebody get to that point in their mind where they're thinking about that? The process of, well, maybe I don't need the caffeine. Maybe I don't need the energy drink first thing in the morning. Maybe I'll do something else. How does that occur in one's mind?
It's interesting because I'm going to tie this all together, I promise, but I keep seeing things about how, use AI for this, and, let AI do this, and then you can get more done. Or, let Instacart or Walmart or whoever shop for your groceries so you can get more done. It's all about, doing more. Everybody is wanting everybody and wanting to do more.
That's a good point.
And so, with that, I start to think about, what if I don't want to do more? I don't want to do more. do a lot already.
Let's do less.
I don't want to be optimizing to do more. Like, I want to be able to submerge myself in my life in the tasks that, like, AI could probably do, but, like, I can also do because I am doing it and have been doing it. And everybody before me did it in some way or another, too. So, like, I don't really want to add more to my plate. I feel like so many people are just adding more and more and more to their plate.
It's quantity versus quality.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because I feel like the more we add, the more burdened we become, the more we teeter on this edge of burnout, and the more that we need to reach for these substances. And the more that we feel like we need this energy, like we need energy, and we're trying to pull it from these other places. So, like, I go to Starbucks and I sit there for hours every single week at this point. And, like, I look around and I observe and I absorb what's happening. And so, like, I look at the, what do you call it? The screen, the menu a lot. Like, I just kind of, like, I'm just, like, zoning out, like, looking at the menu. And recently they just came out with these blended energy refreshers or something like that, I think it's called.
Those are big.
And, well, they have a bunch of different energy refreshers, but now they have blended.
Other people do those.
And it says, more caffeine. I saw it today. It said, more caffeine.
Woo!
And I think we're in such a culture right now where we want more of everything. We're doing more. We want to be doing even more. And so we want more caffeine too. We want more nicotine. We want more substances to keep us going at this rate of expectation that we have placed on ourselves and everybody else around us. And so I think people just get caught up in that and they don't even know what they're participating in or what they're doing to their bodies and their minds until they wake up one day and they're like, oh my God, like I am on the floor and I cannot exist without 300 milligrams of caffeine in me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very interesting.
That's a really good point. I definitely agree. So I think the issue is the brain and how it is functioning. And if it's burnt out, overstressed and strained, or what's going on there. So with the, like marijuana, for example, the amount of dopamine that you get from getting high is an absurd amount.
And it also varies depending on the THC content, I would assume. Is that correct?
Yes. So
which now there's THC products that are like ridiculous.
Super high. Way too high.
Yeah.
You're getting way too high. It's an absurd amount. So that your brain and the amount of dopamine you get, which dopamine is like a natural thing that your brain is supposed to be using to maintain your motivation throughout the day. It's how you're orienting your production physiologically. Your brain is like, hey, here's more of this neurotransmitter, this chemical that you like, and makes you feel good, makes you happy, makes you satisfied, and keeps you going from a focus standpoint. So when you're consuming all of these products, external substances, the amount of dopamine that's produced in the brain is like for lack of better terms, a synthetic increase. It's a non-native increase because you can't really get that much. You can't get these products naturally. So it's a non-native way to produce that much dopamine. And that gets into the porn conversation as well, the blue light conversation, social media, and all of these different addictions that we have. The amount of stress on the brain that does it's coming to the surface now in the research world, but it's very much an unstudied and shaken up world. That's not something that people really talk about much, but the brain, everyone's brains are way overstimulated.
I mean, even
literally.
Just from technology alone.
Yeah, literally, figuratively, physiologically, biologically, all the ways that your brain could be overstimulated they are currently. So we're pretty much, your brains are drained out. If you are on caffeine, if you're on all of these substances, anything you can get your hands on, right? You're consuming the tech, you're watching porn, you're doing all the things, smoking the weed. Your brain's drained out. You have drained brain. Strained, drained brain. Who's the lady that talks about this?
Dr. Trish Lee.
Yeah, those are her terms that she come up with. She has a whole program of dealing with people's addictions. She's more of a porn addiction lady. That's kind of like her specialty. And that's what she talks about, is that the amount of dopamine that's being produced is way too much. And it basically fries your brain. So, layman's terms, our brains are fried out. We're fried to the core, and you become dependent on these products because you're artificially creating that function of dopamine that you need in your day-to-day life. But if you stopped cold turkey, you'd be, like you said, on the floor. Like, I can't function, don't talk to me, I'm going to kill somebody. Like, I need my nicotine, I need my caffeine, I need my whatever. Like, we'd be going through it hardcore. But it's not necessarily a withdrawal. I mean, it is, but it's kind of like a necessary withdrawal that you'd have to go through to almost reset your standard, like your resistance to it. It's like your sensitivity, I guess. Like, you'd have to reset your sensitivity to these products, which would also help to, not desensitize, but resensitize the brain, which gives you more vitality over time. But something else that I wanted to mention is, like, reasons of, okay, like, what's the big deal? Well, everything that I just said was a big deal. But some more direct, maybe surface level reasons would be an overconsumption of these stimulants affects your sleep. And if you're in this loop of, like, oh, I'm tired in the afternoons, I'm going to grab an energy drink, I'm going to grab a coffee, I'm throwing in pouches all throughout the evening, you are disrupting sleep to a degree, especially caffeine. Caffeine's more disruptive than the nicotine from a sleep perspective. So if you're chronically disrupting sleep, then that means you're chronically unrejuvenated and you are functioning at a lesser level than what you should be. You're not repairing properly. You're not cleaning your brain out properly, giving your brain the proper rest that it needs.
The lymphatic system.
That's right. Your brain has its own cleaning system, its own system. And you're going to do that cleaning the best if you get a really good night's sleep. And you can't get a really good night's sleep if you are cracked out on caffeine and nicotine, these stimulants. They're stimulates the nervous system. It affects everything.
I mean, even in alcohol, marijuana, all of that affects your sleep, though.
Everything does, yes. Being the best sleep that you can get is being 100% sober from everything.
Womp womp.
And having somewhat of an empty stomach.
I can't hang when we have a late dinner.
Well, yeah, when you eat right before bed, then your body has to digest that food first before it can do other stuff. So it's like top priority. I mean, obviously, I think the body's smart enough to multitask, but you're taking away that focus and that really good night's sleep to digest the food.
Yeah.
So if you eat a big meal, you're affecting your sleep. I think it's like 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours that you should be kind of, before bed. Like, don't eat that time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I follow that, and I prefer it for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like an immediate reason to maybe change some things, because sleep's at the top of the list when it comes to your health. If you're not getting good sleep, there's probably a reason for it, and the stimulants are definitely a reason. They do affect sleep. They can keep you up. They can keep you restless. You might be able to fall asleep because you're exhausted, and you will pass out, but just because you're unconscious doesn't mean that you're going through the proper sleep cycles and cleaning your brain and cleaning your body and rebuilding things and all the things that are beneficial if you're taking all that stuff.
That's right, for sure.
Very important thing to do.
Definitely.
For your health.
Yeah.
We went pretty heavy into the caffeine and nicotine.
Definitely. This is definitely a caffeine nicotine episode.
For sure.
We didn't plan that. Here we are.
Brain health. What else did I learn about them? I think pretty much covered most of it. I was surprised that my initial assessment was like, oh wow, nicotine isn't as bad as caffeine. That was like my thought that I had. It's like, wow, that's interesting. Like, the way that it affects the system, it's not as prolonged as caffeine. Caffeine's half-life is like anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, depending on how you metabolize it. And then nicotine is like way less.
Yeah, but the modes of receiving the nicotine are what make it worse than the caffeine.
Right.
So you drink coffee or tea, typically, to get caffeine, at least more sizable amounts of natural caffeine, let's say. And then, say you smoke a cigarette, well, most cigarettes are filled with other things, like they're not just straight tobacco, and like, say you chew some snuff, like that's not great for your, like your, any aspect of your health, but especially your oral health, digestive health, all of that. So I think the impacts of the methods of receiving it make it worse when you're looking at it from like the overarching picture of things.
Yeah, but that's why the tobacco industry came up with non-tobacco nicotine.
Yeah, but what's in the pouches and the non-tobacco nicotine? I mean, I know
Right.
you have patches and stuff, but like, speaking of the pouches and the cartridges and things like that, like there are added things in that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not innocent.
No. It's like opting for like a sugar-free option
Yeah.
to be healthier, but like if you look at the ingredients, what you're getting in place of sugar, in my opinion, is worse than just having the sugar.
That's also my opinion.
Yeah. Like my body knows what cane sugar is. My body does not know what all of the
alcohol,
the sugar, the sugar alcohols and natural artificial sweeteners are and everything like that. So I feel the same way about all of it, basically, of course, because that's what makes sense.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about the products. Things to look out for when you're looking at stuff. So energy drinks, everything's always labeled, right? Any type of soft drink or cheap item with caffeine, that's going to be the synthetic version. If it's labeled caffeine, then that's the synthetic version. But if the company goes out of their way to say that is extracted from green tea or from coffee beans, green coffee beans, whatever it is. If the company goes out of their way to say that it's derived from a plant source, they're doing that because it costs more money to do, so they're going to tell you. And that's the source that you want. You want that type of caffeine. But if they don't tell you, then it's the cheap one, which is the synthetic 100% made in the lab. And then the nicotine, that's usually, it'll say like non-tobacco product. But that one was harder for me to find and look into because, like I said, everybody has their own like recipes and they have all these different patents for how they do stuff. So I think you would have to look up individually what product you're using and then ask if that product is derived from the tobacco plant or not.
This is just a random personal interest. Do you have to be 21 to buy
Tobacco, yes.
all of it, even
Yes.
or nicotine?
Yes.
Yeah, nicotine too. Yeah,
I think.
I don't know. I'm just curious. I know
Pretty
tobacco.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day, you'd
Trump
be
did that.
18.
Thanks, Trump.
I mean, I don't really care at all at this point, but yeah.
A lot of people were upset about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do kind of see the point, but also, brain health, your brain's not fully developed until, beyond mid-20s. So if you're consuming these products with an underdeveloped brain, especially prefrontal cortex, it's not fully developed, you can't think properly, you don't have as much of a logical bandwidth, and you're consuming these products, alters brain development. So kind of a big deal.
Definitely.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But all depends on,
how hard you hit it.
how much you care.
Yeah.
But I think if you're listening to this podcast, you do care. So look into it
There we go.
for yourself.
And
like I
your
said,
health.
you'll have to probably look up the nicotine individually. Yeah. Because I couldn't really find like a because usually there's not an ingredients list on those products. Usually. I'm really not sure though. I might be talking out of my ass right now because I don't use the products, so I don't read them. So, yeah. Make sure you check that out.
Cool. I also realized, this is not related to this at all, but I don't know. You might be able to hear the air purifier in the background because I have it going on high and I forgot to shut it off before we started. That's what you can definitely hear. And because of the smoke, I turned it on high.
Oh.
So if you can hear that and have heard that through the whole thing, thanks for staying with us because I forgot about that. But we made it. We did it. Better late than never. Here's an episode to start your Friday off if you're listening to this when it's just released. Anything else to add?
I think that's it.
Cool. Everything is down below. Leave us a rating and review. Share the show with somebody that you know who could benefit from hearing this. And with that, we will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.